Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to increase your Facebook ad account daily spending limit. It's something that I know a lot of Facebook advertisers, particularly those getting started who want to scale aggressively, get very frustrated with. So I'm going to go through a few things on that and clarify some points on this topic in this video. Before I get into that, I just want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't done so already. So I'm an example Facebook ad account, and you can see I've got this budget set to £1,000 daily, and in this ad account and in most of our ad accounts we could basically spend, I don't even know what the limit would be. I've not running into the issue. And the reason why I've got this to start with, because I want to highlight that the ad account spending limits are temporary. There are things that certainly can be done to lift them. So don't feel like it's a lost cause or you'll never be able to spend any more. That's not the case, and that's what we're going to go through in this video. Actually, before I do that, I just want to quickly distinguish between two different types of account spending limits. So there's the daily spending limit that Facebook puts on your ad account. This is particularly the case for new Facebook advertisers accounts without a lot of history, and they basically don't want you to spend a whole load, not pay your invoices, not pay for the ads and then disappear. So that's why they're putting a spending limit on them. There's also the account spending limit that you can add yourself manually as an advertiser. Anyone could go into the Facebook ad account and set a manual limit. Now, if that's the case and you've got a manual limit in place and that's frustrating you and getting in the way of you being able to scale, you can very easily go in and edit that and lift it, and that's not a problem. So I'm going to focus on the one that Facebook has enforced, because I know that's what people struggle with, and that's what annoys them when they want to scale, particularly if your campaign's going really well, you want to spend more, and you'll run into something where Facebook will say, you can't spend more than $100 a day, you can't spend more than $250 a day or $500 a day, or something along those lines. That's certainly something that comes up, as I said, particularly with new advertisers, okay? So the first thing I'll say about the daily spending limits is that there are things you can do to help speed up the process. I'm going to get into that in a minute. There are also things you need to avoid so that you don't slow down the process. And this is actually the more important side of things, because if you make a mistake that slows down that process, that's going to have a much bigger impact than anything else. Okay, the biggest issue is you need to never, and I mean never, have a failed payment attempt. So we've seen Facebook ad accounts where, you should first start advertising, Facebook will give you a $250 a day daily limit, okay? And then after a few weeks, that goes up to 500. After a little, maybe less than a few weeks, after a week, it goes up to 500 a day. After a week, it goes up to 1,000 a day. If during that process, you have a card associated, added to your ad account, a payment method added, and let's say you've hit your credit limit or the card's expired and Facebook attempts a few payments and it fails, that's a big issue. Your daily account spending limit is going to increase much more slowly after that. Basically, Facebook's going, oh, okay, we've had some failed payment attempts. We're not sure about this advertiser. Let's tread cautiously. So I'd recommend you add multiple payment methods to your account. Check them, make sure you're absolutely fine. If you're dealing with this issue of your Facebook ad account daily spending limit is getting in the way of you being able to scale your campaigns, keep an eye on this. That is the single most important thing. I can't underline how important that is. Don't have failed payment methods. By the way, you never want to have a failed payment attempt on your account anyway, even if you're not running into these daily spending limit issues. It's just not good for your ad account, right? If you have 4 or 5 failed payments without realizing it, then your ad account will be suspended, your campaigns will be turned off, you have to then go and sort it out. That's not good for the delivery systems of your campaigns, right? That is not good for the optimization process, and you will probably see a worsening of performance over the the week, 2 weeks, maybe even longer after you've had that happen. So it's just good practice anyway, but it's particularly important when you're trying to increase your daily Facebook ad account spending limit to never have a failed payment attempt. The other thing that we've found works particularly well with the ad account spending limits is consistency. So if you're trying to increase that amount, instead of having like erratic campaigns where like one day you're spending $50 a day, the next day you're trying to spend $1,000 a day, again, Facebook's a little bit like, what is going on here? That's not how most advertisers would interact. You're much better off going up to your limit of $250 a day, stay there for 4 or 5 days, keep the campaign consistent, make sure there's no failed payment attempts, and then it will be jumped up and then jumped up. And if you stay consistently like that, It tends to help speed up the process, as opposed to going up, down, pause campaigns, on, off, which again makes sense from Facebook's standpoint, right? That is how they would approach things, because they want to make sure they get paid. That's what a lot of this is all about, and very, very important that it is structured that way for them, and that they have the trust in the Facebook ad account to be comfortable, basically extending people a relatively small, I'll admit, but a bit of a line of credit within their Facebook ad account, because obviously you're spending all the ads and then you pay for them retrospectively. Okay, so that's another very important thing. Ad account disablings or any ad disapprovals during that process of trying to get your Facebook ad account spending limit up will hinder your progress. Definitely an ad account disabling, even if you then appeal and get it back, that's going to slow you down. Again, it's all the signals to Facebook that, is this a super trustworthy advertiser? And I say, if you're getting ads disabled, ads disapproved, loads of ads disapproved, that is going to slow down your process. So during that time of trying to increase your daily spending limit, just try and be, squeaky clean, always by the book in terms of your ads and your ad disapproval. If during that process, Facebook offer you a marketing expert to have a chat with, otherwise known as a rep, absolutely take them up on it and bring this up as an issue to your Facebook marketing expert when you have that call. So once you've been advertising on Facebook for a while, you'll get an email saying, would you like to book a free call with a Facebook marketing expert? Absolutely have that call, and then say to them, look, I really want to spend more on the platform, but I've got an account daily spending limit of $500. Is there anything you can do about that? And we've seen it happen where they go, oh yeah, absolutely, I can see, you've had no issues in the campaign, I can see the campaign's going really well, I'll boost that up to $1,000 now for you, or something like that. Within, I don't want to give time frames, but within a relatively short time period, and this may just require a bit of patience, which is absolutely fine, within a relatively short time period, you should basically have no account spending limit, okay? I would say the vast majority of the accounts we're operating on, we never run into any daily spending limit issues. Tends to happen more for advertisers trying to scale quite aggressively early on. Now, there are caveats to that. So I know that Facebook doesn't treat all ad accounts equally. Account spending limits are much more severe for people in, countries where I think Facebook typically have more issues with recovering payments. If you're an advertiser set up in like the US or the UK, you're probably going to have a much higher spending limit, and it's going to be increased quicker than if you're in other countries where Facebook tend to have a bit more issues. So depending on where you are in the world, it will affect not only what you can spend, but how quickly that limit increases, and how quickly the increments take place. So that's worth noting. What I've said, you need to put that through a location filter. But in general, I've never seen Facebook ad account daily spending limits get in the way of a Facebook advertiser's success or progress or results over even the medium term, let alone the long term. So whilst it may be frustrating in the short run, it's nothing to worry about. Do the things I said, it should increase very quickly and you can crack on. At the end of the day, Facebook wants you to spend as much money as possible. They're just protecting their downside and making sure they're actually going to receive the money for the ads that you've run. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful. Before you go, a couple of free things I want to mention. The first is a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. Now, this webinar, if you aren't 100% confident in the strategy, the sales funnel that you're using, is an absolute must watch, because if you don't have the right sales funnel for your Facebook ad, for your business, for your products and services, if you don't have the right Facebook advertising sales funnel, it's just not going to work, right? You cannot use an omnipresence content sales funnel for an e-commerce business selling $40 products, and you cannot use a direct to offer strategy if you're trying to sell a $10,000 coaching program. You need the right strategy for what you're selling, and that webinar shows you exactly how to do it. Completely free. Link is in the video description below. Go ahead and check that out. I think you'll be glad that you did. Other thing I want to mention is our Facebook advertising services. So my company, Lead Guru, is a Facebook ads agency, specialist Facebook and Instagram ads agency. And if you're currently running your own campaigns, perhaps results aren't as good as you want them to be, or they are, but you think you can do better, we'd absolutely love to get involved and help you out with that. We do fully done for you managed Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns. We can handle the creative side of things, the graphics, videos, the management, all of it. If that sounds something you'd be interested in, you can book a free call with one of my team members right now. Just click again on the link in the video description. That'll go through to a page on our website and you can just literally book a slot into the calendar. I should say that in order to have one of those free 30-minute calls, those free strategy sessions, you need to have a budget of at least 3K per month. That's a cutoff point of which we can't really work with advertisers beneath that point. But if you've got 3K per month to spend, then yeah, we'd love to chat. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Please remember, subscribe to the channel, comment below to let me know what you think of this, and smash that thumbs up button. That'd be much appreciated. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now. Bye-bye.